You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New? Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, YouTube, Pandora, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. JohnAlex and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned. Cow, 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 cow. Yeah. Well, come on. We had the door open, so there's mosquitoes and shit.
Yeah, skeeters, everybody.
There's a skeeter on my Peter, whack it off.
Whack it off.
There's a skeeter on my Peter, whack it off.
There's
a dozen on my cousin, I can hear those fuckers buzzing.
Oh, boy, everybody. We're coming in hot. Coming in hot, 2 mics strong. Bah, 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 bah. Hey, everybody. It's Hey Pal, What's New? It's I'm Greg, and one of my Strange Brew podcast member over there.
God, I miss those guys.
Oh, I know.
Oh, there's some freaking comeback stuff coming up, too, in the news today. Holy.
Comeback stuff?
Oh,
well, we do have to talk about
there.
one trailer. Maybe we have the same trailer.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I watched any. I watched trailers, but nothing I really posted.
We did post one on the Facebook page. We'll see.
I mean, not that I posted, nothing that I was like, oh, let me write this down to talk about it.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's Hey Pal, What's New? I'm Greg. It's my hetero life mate over there, JohnAlex, and
Merry Christmas.
yeah, it's Friday night. Hanging out with the fly strip. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the fly strip. It's delightful.
It is.
It's an eye catcher. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's been a week, man. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. Maybe,
it has been a freaking week.
Welcome to everybody who's brand new. Hopefully we have some brand new people out there. Yeah,
This
so...
hat does not fit over my headphones.
No, it doesn't. You might have to adjust there, son.
I'd like to help you, son, but you smell like a goat.
Shitter's full. Cousin Eddie.
I wouldn't kiss him, Clark. He got a lip fungus we ain't identified yet. There we go. I'll do that. That was a little bit better.
I don't know why they call it hamburger helper. It tastes good all by itself.
Oh, my God.
Good old Cousin Eddie.
I can't do this. Mila discovered, because I fucking showed her, those Lipton noodle packets.
Ooh.
It's in the little packet. And it's like they have the rice ones and the noodle ones. And she's like, what are those? And I was like, oh, you ain't white trash enough for that, kid.
Well, it's like when I had that ramen at the house last week. You're like, what is that freeze-dried vegetable crap that's in there? It's like a piece of corn and maybe some stuff. I don't know. I never used that crap, though. It's oh, God, I could put 18 gazillion milligrams of sodium in my body, but God forbid I put the freaking freeze-dried vegetable in there.
That's right.
I don't want no saggy corn.
Yeah,
anyway.
She's obsessed with them.
The Lipton soup?
They're not soups. They're like the noodles Alfredo. And you put water, a little bit of milk, and butter, bring it to a boil, and dump the packet in there.
Oh, they're great. They're like Ghetto Fabulous.
That's right.
It's like instant freaking side dish.
Well, the hamburger helper, that made me think about it, because that's all hamburger helper is one of those.
Yeah, you throw a hamburger in it. But, of course, Cousin Eddie didn't do that. He just ate them.
It's all good, all by itself.
That's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark. We'll get into that. Maybe we'll do a deep dive into Christmas Vacation.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, well, we could just start it off like we normally do. What's new with you, pal? Did you enjoy your Halloween? I don't think we talked after Halloween.
It was all right.
Did you go tricks or treats?
No.
No, I didn't either.
My kids are all too old. Like, Xander went to his friend's house, and they went out, and he didn't even come home with a lot of candy.
Yeah, my kids, well, I know that Violet went tricks or treats. My daughter, Zoe, actually worked at Sturby's. And, I hung out with Manal, and it was so funny because she lives in a development where in order to not have kids knocking on your door all day, they did a trunk or treat in the development.
Okay.
So the kids, but I remember going over there, and you would think, I'll admit, I'm dating a very sexy goth chick, and she doesn't want trick-or-treaters. She's like, come on, we went out to dinner. She's like, come on, we got to get out of here before these kids show up. I was like, don't you want to do tricks or treats? She was like, no. I loved it. I would, my Halloween was just, I watched, which we'll get into in the movie section, I watched a ton of horror movies.
Oh.
Mostly new ones. And though that's usually what I do. I watch that, or like Shudder had one of those like 101 scariest horror moments that I watched pretty much for like 2 weeks straight, and just the good stuff. The clips.
I'm surprised you haven't watched or talked about the Compendium of Horror that's on.
No.
It's this series. It's like something's Compendium of Horror. Well, we'll have to look it up afterwards.
I had no idea. But other than that, thank you to everybody who listened to our rants and actually checked out our new Facebook group for the Sack of Sin and Entertainment. We got that going. We got a couple of artists that we've signed. Well, but they're
joined forces with.
They're climbing in the sack with us, and we're very excited to talk about them. We're gonna announce it this probably by the time you listen to this, you'll probably already know. But we have a couple of artists on board, some other people that we're working at. We're working to do our quarterly showcase of the talent. We're shooting for the spring, like March.
Yep.
So if anybody is interested, talent-wise, if you're a food vendor, if you are a musician, if you just want to hang out with, creators and talented people, you're an artist, you're a food vendor, you're a musician.
Lonely.
Yeah.
If you're just lonely, come on out.
Yeah, you just want to hang out and, sackofsin.com. Check that out, and also check out the Facebook group. It's been growing. And
like your beard.
Yes. Like my bad Santa beard, as my girl calls it. She's like, tonight I want bad Santa. I was like, oh, you're going to get bad Santa. But this bad Santa comes more than once a year, okay?
Oh shit.
But don't... Gok, skeet, skeet, Anyway, so yeah, maybe it's time that we get into some into the news.
Into the news.
John, you got any news?
News? A news-a-palooza, if I dare say so.
What you got for me? Lay it on me, Sasquatch.
Wonder Man.
We're
getting the Wonder Man. They got a lead actor. Actor can never pronounce it right.
Yahya
Abdul Mateen
the second, or something like that.
Yeah, from
I thought it was the Twinkie
Aquaman,
the Kid.
Right?
Yeah,
he's the guy who was in Aquaman.
He plays Black Manta.
No Black Manta no more. So I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's a show, right? It's a Marvel show.
I don't know anything about Wonder
I don't
Man.
know a lot about Wonder Man either. Apparently, in some of the other Marvel stuff, Nathan Fillion shows up on a lot of things as, I forget the guy's name, for who's Wonder Man in the series. Like, he shows up as that actor because that was the thing about Wonder Man. He was an actor.
Yeah, I get him confused with Booster Gold a lot.
Right.
Because they're kind of similar characters.
Simon Williams. And in some of the Marvel movies, there was deleted scenes of Nathan Fillion playing him.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know that much about Wonder Man to care that much, but like we've said in the past, that can sometimes be a good thing because I have no expectations, so I'm going to be surprised and delighted.
Oh, all I know is that they make good bread. Get it? Wonder Bread?
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck off!
That's why I was asking if it was Twinkie the Kid.
Garbage day!
Yeah, that's some garbage.
No!
Fruit
Warner
Pie the Magician is supposed to be in it.
We don't have our What's Ezra doing, do we? Because in quasi-Ezra Miller news, we've got Warner Brothers has promised that Flash and Blue Beetle will still be coming out in 2023.
It better.
Fucking better. I need something. Everything's getting pushed off. And speaking of fucking pushed off,
Push it.
Scream 6,
Okay.
actually moved up from March 31st to March 10th. So it's coming out
in
early.
March. It's just weird.
And then they switched and moved the D&D movie from March 3rd to March 31st. I don't know why. It
must have been too damaged.
Who the fuck knows why? Yeah, too damage.
What's his face rolled a 20 and he got decapitated.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I want the Flash, but I don't want the Flash. I want to see it to be a train wreck. I don't know.
No, from what people are saying, people that have seen screeners say it's phenomenal. That's why they're holding on to it.
Oh, good.
And I think seriously, by the end, it's going to be called like Batman Flashpoint or something like that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, from what people are saying, like we had talked about this, I think, in a past couple of episodes, where it's like I can separate art from the personal stuff.
Right.
So, people, of course, people in the know and people that are into this whole pop culture stuff are, worried and concerned. Guaranteed that movie comes out, nobody knows what Ezra Miller's doing.
No.
Nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit anymore.
No, they're going to be like, ooh, cool, Flash movie. It's like we were talking about Sausage Party, where people just go, oh, it's a cartoon. They're not paying attention.
And I'm behind, but like, nobody's going, where's Armie Hammer?
No, he's out
He's
chewing on some broad.
Yeah, but a couple more quick news items. We got our Crow reboot, The Crow. Finally entered post-production.
Well, can't rain all the time.
Yeah. Well, stars Bill Skarsgård.
Ooh, all right.
So we get some Bill Skarsgård in that.
I was thinking about that Crow. I mean, if they do a really good job with it. I mean, I did watch the original Crow, not recently, but like a while ago.
Does it still hold up?
No, not really. It's a little silly.
Okay.
It's a little, I don't know, like it didn't.
Fire it up. that whole shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in it.
Yeah.
It was a great movie at the time. I don't know if it holds up, though. So if somebody does a really good job, I could kind of forgive it.
Okay.
I don't know. It garners a rewatch where it's kind of, I don't know. It's made for the goth chicks, I guess. I don't know.
First snow day, I'll sit and rewatch The Crow.
There you go. Who knows when that's coming? It's like freaking 70 degrees here.
Did you watch Terrifier?
I did.
Okay, we'll get to that later, but Terrifier 2
Electric Boogaloo
was submitted for Oscar consideration. I have seen some Mila sent us his meme in the group chat that was all like the Terrifier 2 guy like in a Spirit Halloween.
Oh. Yeah, well, I think that's part of the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's hiding in a. Yeah, I didn't see
handing like the girl like there's a girl and he's putting on like these fake like the glasses that are all goofy and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that up in our movie section because I did watch the first Terrifier.
Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the Muppet Christmas Carol is coming in extended edition. They're putting in that fan favorite deleted song "When Love Is Gone."
Oh, okay.
Which I'm not familiar with. So
no, I'm not familiar. The only ones I know by heart is obviously the first one and Muppets Take Manhattan. It's classic. Together again. It's classic.
In sadder news, Stargirl was canceled. It's killing me because like all this shit is getting canceled now because everybody's regrouping. Stargirl was canceled and another one, Westworld.
Yeah, I never got into the Westworld.
I watched it all. I thought the last season I watched
was
supposed to be the last season.
It's one of those like weird heady kind of shows, right? Yeah. So I mean,
you know, in the latest episode, spoilers, you find out that like everything that's happening is like in a computer simulated world that the host's consciousness is living in.
Oh boy,
it's dude, it got super like
everybody's
too
trying
deep.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do a stupid twist.
Yep.
It's like just
Well, one of the movies I watched, there was a twist, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It was weird. And that's about all I got in news. That is talkative. That's really no deep into other than...
John, you got any news?
Yeah, it's nothing really that we could talk about that in length,
No.
It's just like, yeah, this is getting moved, this one's getting dropped, this one... It's kind of like with the music news, too, you'll find out, where there's really not too much scandal going on or anything like that that we can talk about.
Even for me with TV, like there was not much. I didn't do much new TV watching. I mean, there's new season of Titans.
Okay,
which is a great freaking show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched it.
I gotta get on board with that.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
They're on like what, season 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 or 4? No, 4, I think.
Okay. I might get confused.
I can look, but it's really good. And I'm loving this new season. They're hitting it hard right from the get go.
Yeah, I mean, right now as far as TV goes, like I the only ones that I'm continuously watching, because a lot of stuff did end. I'm still watching. We can get into Andor. I've been watching The Walking Dead. That seems kind of like I think they only have like 2 episodes left.
Way behind The Walking Dead.
It's I like the Commonwealth storyline. It's just completely different than the comic book one because the characters aren't in the show anymore.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth one, I mean, Dwight was in it. A lot of the major things that happened in the Commonwealth arc happens with Rick, Carl, and Dwight. None of them are in that. So they're kind of just like
spinning their wheels in the mud.
Yeah, making their own kind of stuff, and it's kind of like it. So, I mean, it's not been... I'm not hate watching it like I do with the other ones, but at the same time, it's like we had talked about it in the past, where it's like I know all these people have spinoffs, so there's no stakes. Yeah. There's no stakes involved. Where I used to watch that show, maybe in the first couple 4 or 5 seasons, where it's like I thought anybody could die.
Yeah,
it was always like oh,
wait till you start watching fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh boy,
Jesus,
yeah.
Don't get attached to anybody.
Yeah, I know.
Every time I got attached to somebody, it was like, and they're dead.
Yeah. Well, you always know, like even in Walking Dead, they do the same thing where it's like if somebody's really getting a lot of story, you're like, oh, they're dead.
They're gonna fucking die.
And this episode that just came, I mean, it'd probably be spoilers because I'm a week ahead because of the AMC Plus. But there was a situation going on with Negan where if I didn't know he was getting a spinoff, I would honestly be like, oh my God, he's done for.
And they released like some behind the scenes footage from the spinoff.
Yeah.
Nothing major, it's just like a 2-second clip, but it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm in the bag for that stuff, so I'll watch it. But at the same time, it's like...
Me too.
How
long I watch it for is debatable.
It's not like must-see.
It's
like
not
I
Andor.
Used to do. No, Andor. The circus is kicking it.
No more than 12.
No more than 12. How many men?
No more than 12.
Yeah, that was good.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, and that part where, now we're just...
Let's get into it. Let's get into Andor because I don't know about you, but there's not really anything new that I've watched that's really even worth talking about.
Now, I did watch one... I did finish The Watcher.
And
it annoyed the shit out of me.
Good, I'll skip it.
Because it was... Yeah, I took the bullet for you on that. Well, there's a couple of things that I'm watching. I know today is... if you own a Roku, you can watch Weird.
I watched it.
Well, you could... Oh, that's on your list?
That's my movie. I got 2 movies. Weird. Right. One of them is Weird.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. We'll get into the movies later. Do you want to do Andor first? I think we should probably do Andor.
Let's do our discussion about Andor.
Yes. I mean, first of all, if you're not watching this show, shame on you.
Yeah, fucking shame.
It's intriguing. Like I said, people...
What show was I watching?
That, Rogue One was the best Disney Plus... the best Star Wars since Disney took over.
Yep.
And this show too is getting great. Like they keep saying, as far as like ratings go and stuff like that. I mean, we know that it's going to have a conclusion.
Right.
They've already signed it, so I'm not worried about viewership.
Right.
I'm just as far as people watching it, I'm just like, why are you not watching this show? It's just. I mean, let's get into the whole Bix thing with that doctor torturing him.
Oh my God!
What a sadistic bastard.
Holy shit.
It was great. And what was great about it is it wasn't the typical Star Wars thing of like the robot with the needle and the shock and stuff. He said something is like they captured a sound of this specific alien, like children aliens dying.
Right.
And it was just like the way he described it, he was just
because I was under the impression that thing that they put on her, they captured that sound, but like it was like we captured it. It was children under a floor, and we were able to like capture that emotion of them and record it, and now you're feeling that.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it again.
Yeah, it was more like the doctor. First of all, it was creepy because what's her face? The blonde, where she's just like she's trying to get information out of Bix, and Bix is like, I ain't saying shit.
Fuck you.
And
Smack.
she walks
Fuck
away. She
you.
goes, all right, doctor, she's all yours. And he goes, thank you. And I'm like, oh god,
Oh,
what is
God,
he gonna do? You know, don't look at it if you don't want to see. No, but he starts talking in detail about this specific species of alien and how they recorded their death, and they have like almost like a weird kind of squeal to it, and we were able to record the children of them dying and stuff, and that perfect shot of they put the thing on her head, they focus on her real close, she starts screaming, and then the screaming goes into the drilling of the freaking the place. It was just, I mean, oh my god, just amazing. And just
Deidre.
Yeah, Deidre. And then freaking Cereal Boy is freaking, trying to get all Dom Sub with her.
Cyril? Is that Cyril?
Yeah, I call him Cereal because he's always eating cereal.
Huh, that's true.
Yeah, he's always eating cereal, and he's got those collars, and his mom's just like, yeah, I'll go with me some friend.
Oh my god, that woman who plays his mom is like...
Yeah. I don't know. She's annoying as shit. But yeah, you got...
Catherine Hunter is her name.
Oh, okay. But you got Cereal Boy freaking stalking Sarah, or whatever her name is.
Where I know her. Yeah, that, I mean, and just... When that fucking guy, the old
obsessed. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, last week we found out, was it last week or this week that we found out that what happened on the second level was a guy, no, it was this week.
Yeah.
And that's what set him off, was like a guy was released, he paid his time, and then all of a sudden he showed up on level 2 and made a ruckus, like I was released, but I wasn't, they kept me here and just changed floors kind of thing, like, and everybody went fucking nuts.
Yeah, and they
killed everybody.
Incinerated the whole second. So that was when Andy Serkis's character was like, shit, we're never getting out of here.
Well, and not just that, the fact that the guy was like, yeah, there's nothing you can do for this guy. He's dead. He's done.
Yeah.
He was never going to leave there.
No.
None of them are.
They consider himself, he should consider himself lucky. That's the one thing I do love about about Tony Gilroy and his whole crew, his whole family, not because of their name, but obviously he adamantly, he's just like, I don't give a shit about connectivity and
Right.
like he'll put it
I'm
in
just
there.
telling stories.
Yeah, he's not doing it like, and they do the subtle ones of like they mention Palpatine a bunch of times. You get to go into the Senate thing where the prequels were, and you're like, oh, okay, but you don't need like, even Rogue One. I mean, they did pull the Vader, which is the best freaking 10 minutes of any Star Wars.
Sure.
Movie. Him just freaking suffering fools, just knocking them out, trying to get that.
Yeah, we've said it. You get your badass Vader you always wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you wanted
exactly.
to see.
Yeah, and we got that a little bit in Obi-Wan too. I mean, he was creepy as fucking Obi-Wan.
Oh god,
choking out fools and
But now I also love in Andor that like in the first section we got the heist.
Yes.
Now in this section we're getting the jailbreak.
Yeah. Like this one, I think I counted it off. I thought it was supposed to be in 3s, but I think this one.
This was
next week is going to be the big jailbreak, I think. And, I mean, I think shit's going to go down in the last 2, so they have to. I think that's when the rebellion, like you said, that's when the rebellion starts.
And I think
or
the
at least
rebellion
they're out in the open.
I think the start of like the people for the rebellion is going to be the fucking jailbreak. They jailbreak out of that fucking place and they all go off and start the rebellion.
Yeah, that could be.
The people are like, I'm not going. I have no home to go to. Everybody I knew is gone. Like they start finding out like everything's destroyed. The Empire's everywhere. Doesn't matter if you go home, they're gonna find you. Like, okay, well then let's fucking fight back.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like I love the fact that this show, you get a lot of detail about the Empire and how it works. And from what I heard too, the Acolyte.
That's fucking company out there.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to what's going on right now and the Empire.
Yeah, wait till you get to the movie I watched.
Oh
boy, similarities.
Good times. So that and I did hear that the Acolyte is going to start. It started filming already.
Okay.
Which is all about the birth of the Sith. So we're going to get a lot of darkness. Ooh, Yeah, it's gonna be some dark side.
I got my movie shirt on, so that's my ode to Kevin Smith right
There
there.
you go. Grandma, what was it like?
So that I don't really have any other TV. I mean,
No,
I
that's
didn't watch
really-
a lot.
No,
I mean, I did watch a lot of TV. You know, I've gotten, I mean, that show Peripheral I haven't finished. I started watching the Enola Holmes. I mean, there's all these other shows. Pennyworth I've been watching.
Yep.
But there's nothing new on my list.
Yeah, you just kind of going through the motions.
The 2 movies I watched. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of really good movie reviews on there. So
Well, I only got
which
2.
is weird because usually with movies we're like nah, but then like TV we're like blah, 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 blah. So this should be interesting.
I got 2 movies.
Okay. We'll let you go first.
So I'll start with, it's called The Independent. I just kind of fell onto it.
The Independent.
Yep.
Okay.
It stars John Cena.
Oh, you know
So-
what I do to assholes? I like them.
It's also got that like grumpy old guy. What the fuck is his name? Anyway, the whole premise of the movie is this woman is a journalist,
Okay.
and she's covering like the presidential election. And you've got like the lady who's like, let the people of America vote for the first woman president. Every girl out there seeing a woman being the first, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then there's the guy who's like, you got your Republican, you got your Democrat. And then you got John Cena who's like, I don't stand over here, don't stand over there. The problem with these parties, they don't stand for the people, they stand for the party. He's like, I'm in the middle. I'll stand on the issues. And he's running for president. He's doing the everyman thing. But the reporter girl is like digging into this story and like finding this connection, like what's actually going on here. And she thinks she's stumbled upon the fact that like, now this is where it gets eerily. I'm like, did they like create this and put it out in a week or something like that? Because they start looking at the fucking lottery. They've realized this one woman who's running for president, her campaign has all this funding, but where's it all coming from? What the guy who runs the lottery and her went to school together and her friends and blah blah blah. And then she starts looking, and they get into the fact that like when the lottery starts to get up there every week, every time that it's not, the jackpot isn't hit, the contributions and the revenue goes up by a specific percentage, and they start getting to that. And I'm thinking about fucking Powerball, which is up to 1.5 billion right now.
Oh yeah, even I played it.
And then they start talking about, like, especially during a recession, I'm like, wait, what? And they're talking about the parties are, like, totally fucked and don't care about the people anymore. And I'm going, like, and this is so goddamn relevant. And spoiler, it turns out, like, the person that's been embezzling money, like, siphoning money from the lottery to their campaign is fucking John Cena, the Mr. Goody Two-Shoes kind of guy.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then they blow him up. I'm not telling people, go out and watch this movie.
Did it come out this year?
It literally just came out like 2 days ago. And it's not even on like regular TV. It's on like one of those like weird freaking like foreign type like channels that I don't even know. And I watched Weird. The Weird Al.
Yeah, I'm good. That's on my weekend playlist.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but just be prepared because it's sort of the Weird Al story.
Well, yeah, it's a parody of it.
It's a definite parody of his story, you know.
When they mentioned it, I remember there was a short on Funny or Die that it wasn't Daniel Radcliffe that played Weird. It was, it was somebody else that was like pretty popular.
Right.
And they did like a mock fake trailer of, Weird Al being like this crazy renegade, which he's not. So I think the movie's based on that. It's not a,
he's a drunk. He's dating Madonna.
Yeah,
and it's like you start thinking like, okay, this could be true. His dad hates him being a musician, blah, blah, blah. And then like all of a sudden, like Pablo Escobar wants him to play, and he goes down. They kidnap Madonna, and I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah. I mean,
this is all just a goof.
And it is funny because I was gonna watch it today because I realized I was home working and it was Friday, and I was like, oh wait, I think the new Weird Al movie is out, and so I put it on, and it, apparently because I do have Roku. I put it on, and Weird Al introduces it, and he's like, "This is not my real life story." Like he had to do like a
disclaimer in the beginning.
This is kind of a mockumentary on me, and then because then I'm sure idiots are gonna watch this and think it's like, did you really freaking play for Pablo Escobar?
Well, he didn't play. He killed Pablo Escobar, of course.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know if it was true or not that like he went through a period of time where he was just fucking off the rails crazy.
Yeah, it's a parody. From what I understand, it's a parody of all these like biopics, like Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody, which are great, but they really don't like. There was a reason why I remember. What's his face did an amazing job in Bohemian Rhapsody. But Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to play him, Freddie Mercury, and he dropped out of the movie because they're like, you're not getting into like the real dirt. This is like a fluff piece on Freddie, like. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I loved Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought it was great, but
I'd like to see some of the dirt on him.
Yeah, I mean, he went to a dark place. They kind of touched on it in the other movie, but like Sacha Baron Cohen's like, no, I'm not doing this.
I want nothing to do with this.
This is not real. This is everybody just fluffing him up,
Dude, and I'm fucking Daniel Radcliffe. Dude is carved out of fucking stone. He's like ripped.
Really?
He gets up on the one seat and takes off his shirt, and he's like drunk and yelling at the crowd and like.
Well, don't you remember that it was a movie or a picture?
The play Equus.
Yeah, where he's like naked.
He was naked.
Yeah, in front of a white horse.
Yeah, hung like a white horse.
Yeah,
from what I understand. Go for it, Dan.
He's got a good wizard. He's got a
good uncut wand.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I like your yam. So Weird was good. It was very entertaining, and again, a lot of it, like I just remember as a kid, like it sounds so weird to say. I remember when his first album came out, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get that. It sounds so cool." And I would listen to it. My dad bought it for me. And I would listen to it over the tape over and over and over and over.
Oh, I'm a huge Weird Al fan. 3D and Dare to Be Stupid. I love UHF. UHF is friggin' classic.
Spatula City.
Yeah. Hey, Bobo, why don't you say hi to Mr. Frying Pan?
I wonder if UHF holds up over time.
I think I haven't watched it in a long, long time. But
we were talking about this at work day because it's like I think movies like Billy Madison. Mm-hmm. Like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, I think they hold up over time because they're just Adam Sandler's like classically funny movies.
Yeah.
But like the person was telling me they watched a movie and they're like, it just didn't hold up.
Yeah. I mean, Adam Sandler's been kind of on a weird trajectory.
We were talking about Will Ferrell movies like Talladega Nights and Step Brothers and Dewey Cox and all that stuff. It was like, those movies, I really do feel like they hold up over time. You shut your mouth, old man. I'll fucking smack you, old man.
Hello, Miss Lady. That's my favorite. I had that as a ringtone forever, like a text tone. Hello, Miss Lady. But, yeah, I mean, I think comedies, especially, like, with these superhero movies and the sci-fi and all the like, you look at some of the old ones, you're like, man, that didn't hold up.
No.
But comedies can hold the test of time. And I can watch freaking Caddyshack and Blazing Saddles, and that came out in the 70s and 80s, and it's still funny.
And I think a lot of that probably is due to the fact that those comedies are relying not on technology at all, which is why like you watch the old Fantastic Four, and you're like, ooh, that's bad.
Oh yeah.
And now you watch new stuff like, oh my god, that's so amazing. And like watching the trailer for Avatar. The water one, I'm like,
the water wing.
Holy fuck, man!
Yeah,
I was like, oh, why can't the Aquaman people call them up and figure out how to do it right underwater?
Never doubt the James Cameron.
And James Cameron, from what I understand, put that movie on hold for years because the technology to do what he wanted to do wasn't there. He's like, I gotta wait for the technology to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, we are gonna do our late to the party episode with me and Avatar because I've never seen Avatar.
Boy, Jake Sully, okay, Jake Sully.
But I'm gonna watch it because this Shape of Water will be coming out and that everybody's gonna be talking about it. So I just for some reason with Avatar it was like I just missed the boat. I'm like, and it's the blue people and the thing and the Pandora and okay, whatever. Like I just had no interest.
I don't want to see Sigourney Weaver getting along with the aliens. I want to see her fucking them up.
That's right. Shave her head again and put her in the scary alien movie.
But that's all I got. Those two movies were very interesting.
Well, because I was deep into spooky season, as they call it.
Oh.
Grind up some candy corns and snort them, kids. I saw a bunch of horror movies this weekend. One of them you had seen already, and I just caught because it's on HBO Max, was Barbarian. Oh. Holy crow.
Dude, how fucking good is Justin Long as the douchebag
he is just insufferable in that movie.
Oh,
And
so good.
he definitely got his comeuppance, in that movie. But I think a movie like that, as much as we love to spoil stuff, you kind of want to go in blind.
Yeah, you really do.
I did hear rumblings of what it was, but it's still the part where she goes into that freaking door that opens in the cavern and stuff like that. Like, all right, she knew freaking what's his face, Pennywise, Skarsgård or whatever,
Bill Skarsgård,
for like what a night.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, dude. For you, I would run in there and find you.
right.
For dude I just met and didn't fuck,
No thanks.
I'm gone. Once I start hearing, and I see a bed with freaking a video camera and a blood-stained bed and a bucket,
I'm
like,
gone and I'm never
out.
going back.
I'm out. I am in the car. I am driving. End of movie. But Justin
And
Long,
scene.
yeah, Justin Long in that movie, he is such a douche. Like when he starts talking about, because he's accused of, raping this co-star in this movie, and he goes back to his friend, his old neighborhood friend, and he starts talking about like, well, she did it, but like she needed some coerce. And like you're just like, oh my god, you're such a scumbag.
God, you're such a fucking
And he's
douche.
measuring because he's like, oh, I can get more square footage from the house. The
Yep.
great thing about it was when they showed it was dark, and then the next morning, because when you pulled in at night, you didn't see that the
Right.
rest of the neighborhood was like apocalypse now.
But see, dude, I've driven through places. The headlights show you that the neighborhood was a fucking disaster. You would have seen that because then there's
Yeah.
shit in the road that she would have had to drive around.
Yeah, I mean, you got to suspend your disbelief. With it.
Yeah, only so fucking far, people.
Yeah, but yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5, pals.
Hell yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Just a mama, like, and apparently there was a deleted scene.
Yes, I wanted to ask if you could remember what it was because I don't know if we talked about it or I talked about it with somebody else. But there was a deleted scene with them in the cage.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the one in the cage. There was one where, like, where he, the woman goes to breastfeed him,
Yeah.
and apparently there was another thing where she finds a rat and she grabs the rat and kind of rips its head off and tries to feed it to Justin.
Right. There's a whole thing on it. The most Slash film did it.
Yeah.
On the most disgusting scene in Barbarian was actually cut.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
It was gag-induced. When they tested it, like the audience was just disgusted.
Yeah, and which that'll be another one of my movies that I saw. Well, first I'll get into the movie I did see in the theater. I took my daughter to see because she's like, oh, I want to see this movie, and I took her and her friend after we went to Beast. Which, by the way, Beast, get yourself a freaking waffle, some pancakes. Oh boy,
I can't.
you can't. Oh, because it's got butter in it.
Yeah, and
And
eggs.
the donut. Oh my God, hot donuts. There is nothing
Tell
better
me-
in the world.
Tell me more.
First off, I'm going to
Tell
say
me about
this
the donut.
before I get into the next movie. Any asshole who goes to freaking Dunkin' Donuts and gets a cold donut, go shit in a hat. Because hot donuts are where it's at, dude.
Oh,
She
well,
made
dude.
these hot donuts. Me and Violet, we were like freaking coke addicts. We were just like, oh my God.
Dude, that's Krispy Kreme. When the red light's on, you go into Krispy Kreme and you get a box. You hit that car, they're still warm. The freaking sugar glaze is still warm. You put them in your mouth and they literally like dissolve in your mouth.
I mean, these don't. Yeah, they were just.
I'm
shit.
getting so excited.
Jeff's Kiss, everybody.
Kiss.
It was delicious. But anyway, I digress. So we actually went to go see that new movie, Smile. Yeah, that's basically how I looked when I walked out of it. Now, people are like ranting and raving about this movie.
Yeah.
It was good.
I think they're
It's
ranting
been-
and raving because of the viral marketing campaign that went along with it.
It was good. It's not breaking new ground. It's kind of the same thing where she's a psychiatrist. She has this client that comes in and she's all fucked up. She keeps seeing all these ghosts and specters and all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden she's got that stupid shit-eating grin on her face. And then she cuts her, she slits her throat and she dies. Apparently the ghost, that if you see somebody die in front of you, it kind of haunts you. And then you start. It was actually a good comparison to like depression.
Okay.
Right? How people get obsessed with depression and then it kind of overtakes them, and then when it kind of passes on. But I mean, I gave it 3 out of 5. That was the movie where I watched it. I literally watched the recap because I was coming in here, and I was like, and I saw it last week, and I was like, wait, what happened? That I don't.
I have
remember.
it. I have it. Just haven't watched it.
I mean, it's if you like that kind of like, it was like It Follows or The Ring, very similar to that, where it's like all of a sudden, if you see this person who gets killed in front of you that has this smile disease, all of a sudden you're going to get it, and you're going to start being haunted by your past, and you're depressed because, you know, it turns out that the psychiatrist came from a broken home, and the mother was dying. She was overdosing on the bed, and she was a little girl, and she was like, help me, help. And she just didn't call 911. She just let her die. So she's been haunted by that ever since. There's some good, if you're into the jump scares and the weird stuff like that. But that's another one where it's like, I'm going to, I mean, yes, we do talk about movies and TV and we give our reviews. I got to stop listening to other people's reviews. Everybody's telling me to watch The Watcher, The Patient, this. I'm like, what kind of movies are you guys You guys are talking about how great these movies are. I'm like, yeah, I like this movie when it was called The Ring. Okay, cool. Other than that, the other quick one I saw, well, I haven't seen Terrifier 2 yet.
Okay.
But I
did. Have not either.
If you go on the Tubi, they have the first Terrifier, which you can watch.
Terrifier.
For free, everybody.
Is the same guy that we see in all the ads? Okay.
Art the Clown. He was, yeah, these were based on some shorts that they did where Art the Clown was appeared, but it was played by a different actor. The first Terrifier and this new one is played by this new guy, Art the Clown. You're not looking, it's not Citizen Kane or The Godfather.
Okay.
It's a typical, what's great about it is that, first of all, he's creepy as fuck.
I'll take creepy as fuck.
You know, he comes in, he's like a mute, you know, like a mime. He's black and white. He's got the black over his lips with the rotted teeth, and he's just, and these two girls are coming back from from like a party or something like that, and they go into a diner, and he just kind of sits there. And the one girl who's just like, oh, she thinks it's funny, and she's like taking a selfie with them, you know, and he's just like he goes from like complete sadistic to like goofy clown.
Right. That was the meme that I saw that Mila was showing me on like TikTok or something. Was the scene of him in like a Spirit Halloween type store.
Yep.
And like the girl's online, he's like, "Go ahead," and then he's like standing there picking up like the goofy eyeglasses that they have and putting them on, and like, "Hey," and then putting other stuff on it and a hat and like doing all his.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't speak a word in the whole movie. I think the reason people are obsessed with it kind of is it's a new horror icon. You can be like, you know, it's like a Freddy or a Jason. Now you got Art the Clown. The movie is just, the guy who wrote it and directed it, I believe, was a special effects guy.
Okay.
So the gore is off the chain. Like,
nice.
It's just, don't go in there watching it thinking like, oh, I'm going to get a good storyline. No. Art the Clown kills. Basically, I'll spoil one scene. He's in there, so these two girls, he's basically terrorizing them and chasing them around, and like he's killing people along the way, you know, stomping heads and all kinds of blood and gore. He gets to a part where he captures one girl. There's a brunette and a blonde. The brunette captures her in a chair and, you know, takes the thing off, and he's doing all his kooky, like, ooh, look at that, look at that. He reveals that he's got the blonde upside down like a deer and proceeds to cut her in half. Tits and all, and the blood shooting everywhere, and you're just like,
nice.
And it's not like, you know, the cut frame. It's like he's sitting there literally cutting this broad in half.
See, that to me, that's the kind of horror I like, because I'm like, I know there's not going to be a horror movie that's going to scare me.
No,
but give me something that makes me kind of like cringe with like, oh my god, that guy's so creepy. And at the same time makes me laugh my ass off.
Yeah, it's so over the top.
Because it's over the top.
It's so over the top, like, and then it's just switching back between like complete gore and him riding a little tricycle walk, and with covered in blood. And there's just there's no plot.
What the you're like, what the hell?
It's like an art movie. You're like, what the? And I'm dying to see the second one because people have been talking about, people they're handing out like as a goof, they're handing out barf bags in the there because people have been like getting sick and, you know, because it's that gory. I mean, it's one of those movies that, like, yeah, they go for it. They go for it hard.
Yeah.
But it's so over the top. You're just like, it's like the what's his face's first movie, the movie Bad Taste. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Lord of the Rings. Peter Jackson's original horror movie. I mean, the guy kills people with a lawnmower, like picking it up and killing people. And
why does it sound familiar?
it's got the really weird, goofy-looking, like, deformed guy in front. But Peter Jackson, it was like one of his first movies.
I'm going to have to look that up because I know the movie you're talking about.
Walter was a big fan. I remember Walter being a huge fan of Bad Taste.
Is it called Bad Taste?
Yeah, Bad Taste.
Peter Jackson? Okay.
Yeah. Give it a watch. It is, but I recommend Terrifier. I'll give it 3.5.
All right.
It would have been higher, only because there really is no story. You're not invested in these characters. You'll love Art the Clown. He's a nut job. He's just killing people in really bad, gruesome ways. And I'm dying to go. I'm going to wait until it comes out on video. I think Terrifier 2. I don't really want to go to the theater and watch it because it really is. It looks like Terrifier 2. It looks like the budget's a lot higher on it. But I enjoy movies.
Need bleach for my eyes.
Yeah, I don't. I like really intense stuff like that.
Right.
But I also enjoyed the Evil Deads.
Those are the movies I like. The Evil Deads,
Reanimator, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's just
that's my heart
over
right
the
there.
top. That's why I love Tusk because it was just over the top, ridiculous.
I love that over the top ridiculous, even to a degree. Pearl. It was kind of over the top ridiculous, and that was my favorite parts of that movie. Like the whole her just snapping and taking a hatchet to the guy, and
because nobody wants to see real life death and shit. You just want to see ridiculous blood and gore.
Yep.
So yes, Terrifier. I'm anxious to. I'll give you the review of the sequel once I see it. But the first one, if you get a chance, you want to catch up. You don't really get. I mean, you could watch Terrifier 2 and not watch Terrifier. It's there's no. It's not an MCU movie.
maybe I'll watch Terrifier 2 and take it from there.
Yeah, or just watch the first Terrifier and laugh your balls off because it's just ridiculous.
In between binging the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, and the only other things, the rest of the stuff I saw were, just rewatches of stuff. Like I rewatched Summer Sam and that because that was on. And the one trailer I did say we were going to talk about trailers. Did you see the Christmas Story sequel trailer?
I did.
Boo.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know either. They're doing it's the here we go again, I call it, whenever there's a sequel where you get some of the it's cool. They're getting some of the other characters.
Yeah.
You got the original Ralphie, you got Flick, you got all these people. And now it's like, I'm going to have a Christmas. I'm going to make up for my bad Christmas and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, Flick's putting his tongue on, oh my God, he's going to put his tongue on it.
I triple dog there, yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be good. I really want it to be good.
I'm afraid it's not going to be.
That's what I said. I'm afraid it's going to be a freaking turd in the wind. But yeah. No.
I do want to watch this movie that's getting a lot of hype, Causeway. The new Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Oh, I'll watch J-Law and anything.
I don't know much about it, but it's getting a lot of talk. It's an Apple. I think it's an A24 film.
Oh, yeah, A24 is
and Apple Studios. So I think it's on Apple TV.
I don't subscribe.
Apple TV's had some pretty good movies lately.
I don't subscribe. I have enough stuff to subscribe to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had it for a year though when that Beastie Boys documentary came out.
Oh
all of a
yeah.
sudden they gave it to you for free for a year, and I'm like, okay. I just never picked it up again. So, yeah, I think, with the movies and the TV, we're done. I think it might be time for a little music news.
Watch the musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for Greg's Music News.
Oh, yeah.
So music-wise.
Okay, now back to the show.
Sow the seed, and then I plant the seed, and then I reap the seed. And
to bed is free. I'm getting hot in here. Anyway, no, as far as music news goes, there really ain't that much. No, nothing as far as any kind of juicy gossip or anything like that.
Okay.
Music-wise, there was a few items that came out. Some of the singles that came out, Gorillaz, which they have a new single called Baby Queen. Now I was big into Gorillaz for a while, and visually they're freaking cool. It's this animated band, and it's got the singer from Pulp, Damien Albarn or whatever his name is. I love the new single. I put it on the Spotify playlist for us.
Cool.
It's, very similar to Gorillaz stuff. And then I just kind of went on a Gorillaz rabbit hole today when I was working. I would just put on what I love about Spotify is that you can just do this is the band. Like,
right.
This is insert band here. So I put on This Is Gorillaz, and I listened to it all day. I was just like, great stuff. I mean, I love all the early stuff. I bought the first 2 records and were great, but I kind of dropped off after the second record. Check that out, Gorillaz, Baby Queen. Other than that, really the only stuff that came out was Black Crowes came out with a covers EP called 1972. It's all right. The Black Crowes are great. I love the Black Crowes. And they do a couple like Rod Stewart covers and stuff. It's interesting, So if you're down for some covers, you can check that out. For those heavier, like British kind of stuff, Godflesh put out a live album.
Oh.
Yeah. Pure, they're called. Yeah, I'm not giving glowing reviews on any
No.
of this stuff right now. I kind of went through it and it was just like, okay, so it's been kind of a slow week for music, Other than that, you might want to hit the button there, pal.
Can I help you, sir? Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
I thought you were dead.
Hey, kids, guess what? Everclear has a new song out.
Huh?
Yeah. Look, I used to love Everclear.
Everybody did.
Yeah, the drink and the band, too. Yeah, Everclear has a song. It's called Year of the Tiger. Yeah, I just got,
It's the Year of the Tiger.
It's some political statement and oh God. I saw Everclear at, was it Roseland? They're the Sparkle and Fade record. Their first 2 records, Sparkle and Fade is a great album.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really good. After that, they kind of got commercial. And he got rid of the band, and now then he had 5 members in the band, now he's got 4. I don't know who's in the band. It's just art. He played recently, Everclear played, was it last year? In Danbury at, the Dome. I was just like, why? I don't get them anymore.
No.
I think if they went back to their kind of heavier, they were never, heavy, but, they had some distorted guitars, some groove
rock.
to it,
They're more
when he
rock
started
than-
doing the you be everything to everyone, yeah. But apparently they are going on tour with, get this, the Nixons.
What?
And Sponge. Talk about your 90s nostalgia.
I think I saw Sponge in the city with Walter. It was one of these K-Rock.
I think you did, yeah.
I called in. I was like, whatever, I'll fucking call in. Congratulations, you're the 92nd. I'm like, what? And it was tickets 4 different concerts over 4 nights.
I think you remember. I remember you telling me this, but I think you did go to Sponge.
Oh, Walter and I went to every one of all 4 of those shows. And I was like, Walt, I got the tickets. Can you drive? He's like, yeah, sure.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And
Sponge. I remember Sponge played Tuxedo Junction at one point.
Yep.
Definitely the 90s nostalgia. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, that new Bush record, I freaking love it. I love all the Bush.
It's all right.
Who doesn't love Bush?
It's
Come
all
on.
right.
It's all right. It's not, it's not bad.
It's mid.
Well, like I said, Gavin Rossdale cannot fucking write lyrics out of a paper bag. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, your songs are cool, but what is this? So that, we do have to mention one thing since it is music news. Our boy Vern. What do you think that there, Vern? Breach the Asylum is doing another one of his chance extravaganzas.
Extravaganza.
Thoughts and prayers.
Everybody. Thoughts and prayers.
But yeah, he's doing another show at the Chance. We'll promote it if he decides to be in the Sack of Sin. Which, come on, pal, what are you doing? Yeah, but anyway, he's Vern's a hustler, man. And, he pimps it out well, and he's been booking the Chance, and he's got this show, and for some reason he got the legendary Jam Syndicate.
Wow.
If you're a local yokel from back in the day, Jam Syndicate is...
Back in the days when I was young.
Yeah, Jam Syndicate, everybody. Great band, Rob Jackson.
Yeah.
Just way ahead of their time.
You know who you'll never get back together for a show?
What's that?
Product of Society.
Well, you want to laugh.
Tell me Pete hit you up to do it.
Vern hit us up to do it.
Wow.
And it's close. But we decided, we're not going to do it.
Really?
Yeah. We might do something just, hot exclusive. We might do something down the line. But, Pete, Steve, and I, we talked. And we said, they approached me and they said, hey, Vern's thinking about putting us on. Since it's Jam City, like Prod Society and Jam City used to play together.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Yeah, and both bands, I'm sorry, even though I wasn't in the band, we were way ahead of our time. So was Jam Syndicate.
Yeah, they were.
They super. There's a video out. Somebody pulled out an old video from the Briar Patch of them playing playing a cover of Mean Street by Van Halen. It's freaking awesome. Wow. Like they were a great.
Where can I
band.
find that? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah. We'll post it on the
post
page.
That shit.
But yeah, to give you a hot take, I was approached. I said, look, I'd be happy to jam with some proper gentlemen and do it. But we just decided it was, they were going to put us on first. There was a couple songs and I was like, and we haven't really played together.
At least second.
We haven't really played together since our last reunion thing, which was. God, it's coming up on like 20 years at this point. So, yeah.
Well, look, if that band gets back together, it better be under the Sack of Sin umbrella.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Nah, we're not going to put any new music out or anything like that. We'll go out and play the hits.
Oh, I mean,
we're like Poison. We'll just go out and play the hits.
Maybe they can get together for the spring showcase.
You never know. So, rumblings are out there as far as like guitar players. I believe it would be a Rocky and not a Jimmy. I would love Jimmy to play. But
I hate to tell you, but Jimmy was just on asking if we watched Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if he's still listening.
I don't know, but when we did our thing. Now we're going into a deep rabbit hole here.
Oh,
but
shit.
Like when we did our first reunion thing at Vern's place at the Room.
Yeah, I remember it.
We had asked Jimmy to play. And he was going to come up and do a couple songs, but like he ended up just being like, nah, I can't get it together, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of how what happened with the Chance thing. It's not that we hate each other. We don't. I mean, I've been with those guys for decades. I love them all to death. We're just different people, and, hopefully we discuss like, hey, maybe we jam, we get our chops back up, we get our wind back in, and we're not a bunch of fat old men. And it was funny because like, Pete's like, I don't want to, we don't want to get up there and looking like a bit. I was like, dude, I've been fat the whole fucking time.
That's right.
It doesnn't change. There's many levels of me. Like, I'm like Bobby Kelly.
Oh, you all feel bad now that you've reached my level.
Yeah, exactly.
Boo-hoo.
Welcome to my world. Hey, man, I'm sober now. At least we can freaking get shit together. So yeah, if you get a chance, we'll definitely start. Maybe we'll get Vern back on the podcast. Talk about this Christmas bash he does, and definitely keep an eye out on the Sack of Sin, everybody.
Yeah. It wasn't new music. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but this song, I am obsessed with it.
Which one?
Okay, first off, that intro.
Yeah.
Tell me that doesn't sound like a Permanent Hangover song.
Well, yeah, with talent.
Sort of. Ready? Walk through the city.
I love nachos.
I love nachos.
Nachos from 7-Eleven.
Ooh.
I know that they're bad for people that eat them. I think heaven. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos.
This is on the playlist, I know.
It better be. It was in card 3.
Tastes so good.
Yes.
Liquid topping tastes so good.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
worst, best bad cheese. That's what they say too.
We're
I didn't know
doing it
you
right
couldn't
now.
get. I didn't know you couldn't get 7-Eleven nachos at every 7-Eleven.
Really?
It's one of the lines in the song is you can't get them at every 7-Eleven. If you're lucky, you can find them at your 7-Eleven. They say or something like that.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
It's such a good. I mean, I actually read the lyrics and I was like, dude, this brings me back to like high school.
Yeah.
She's talking about going over her friend's house and eating them in her kitchen. I was like, I remember getting 7-Eleven nachos and going over your house and hanging out and just eating them.
Oh, and you got to put that little, like, first of all, there's a whole theory to it.
Oh, yeah.
Where
There's art.
the chips are in a bag, and
Yep.
then before you put the chips in, you do a layer of cheese.
Yes.
Dump the chips in, put even more layer to the point where you cannot see a chip.
Yep.
It's just all cheese. And then you do the old Walter O'Reilly little strand of diarrhea on the top, the chili. Not a full load of chili. You just got to do like a
strip.
a bacon strip. Yeah, just like a shoe shine rag kind of skid mark right on the top.
The center line.
Dude, I want some 7-Eleven nachos right now. But yeah, hopefully by next week,
Yes.
we are definitely going to be announcing who is on the lineup
Yep.
for the Sack of Sin Entertainment. The people who have signed in. We're working on getting the website pages together with the bands, getting new people in, and we're talking about actually doing like almost like a town hall where people can come on, join, masturbate, do whatever you want, but you can get on there, and basically anybody who has questions about what we want to do, because we're shooting for the first showcase in March. We got to rent a venue, we got to get some vendors. We're going all out. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely check out sackofsin.com.
Yep.
Our new Facebook group is up there, so feel free to join. There's no gatekeeper in there. Just join. And if you're interested, go on the website. There is a button to say Get Involved. Go in there, fill it out if you're interested. We're looking for all types of creators, artists, podcasters, food vendors, even people that just want to be involved. Like if you want to help with merch, if you're an artist, and we're putting all the resources together. So if you're a musician or a band and you're like, I don't know what it's like. Oh, you need a great place to record. Here's a place you could record.
Right.
You want a great place to master your album. Here's a place to master your album. You need artwork for your stuff. Here's some artists. So
We want it all.
And we're not taking a cut, dude.
No, this is to connect artists with other artists to help each other out.
Yeah, this is not a money-making venture for us.
You do visual art, you're going to do an album cover for a band or a logo for a band. They're going to promote you to other bands, and you're going to promote the band. And everybody helps each other out.
Yeah. So, definitely check it out.
Kumbaya, baby.
Yeah, like they say, you tell two friends, and then they tell two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.